You got a thumbs up.
All right.
There we go.
Got the camera.
One, two, three.
Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, I used to think that I had to. I used to think that I should. The scriptures told me that I had to be good. But now I love 'cause I want to. I love because I'm free, blinded by the Spirit. Oh Lord, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, I don't need any prodding. I don't need any law. I want to sing with all my heart 'cause God is my all in all. Let go of my burden. Loving God has set me free, blinded by the Spirit. Oh Lord, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the 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 Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, I thought it was my duty. I thought it was my job. Somewhere I believed that loving God would be hard. But loving God is wonderful. Loving God is ecstasy. I thank God for my freedom. Oh Lord, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, 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 the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh.
Three, four.
Opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one.
morning, Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love, and we gather together every Sunday knowing that love is always the answer. Yes, you got it, you got it. I am Reverend Rainbow, and along with Reverend Soni, we are your co-spiritual directors, and we welcome you here today. And if you're joining us online, thank you for being a part of our virtual community. Please say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from today. And of course, hit that like, share, subscribe, all the things. And if you're in the room, we invite you as well to take out your phone, check in, and share pictures, clips, whatever inspires you throughout the service. We welcome that. You just want to make sure that your volume's turned down, because sometimes, I go to do a clip, and then it automatically starts playing something back, and I'm like, woo! So, just a tip.
Is your voice higher this morning?
Is it?
I don't know. Does her voice sound higher? Maybe it's your energy.
Maybe it's my energy. Okay, well, now, I have been watching this show. What is it about? Anyway, she lowers her voice on purpose to sound more empowered, so maybe I'll try that.
All right.
Sorry, we have fun here.
We have a lot of fun. We're a conscious community.
Yes.
Committed to curiosity. So that we may provide a loving space to be reminded of the truth of who we are, whether we have high voices or low voices or in between.
Yes.
We are an open and affirming community, so whoever you are, wherever you are on your path of spiritual discovery, you are absolutely welcome here. And we also know that we are a reflection of one another. I don't know how many times I've said that, at least 500-600 times.
Mm-hmm.
And
See, that's what I'm talking about.
see, that's what I'm talking about right there. Yep, that's it. All righty, there she
Thank
goes.
you for giving us that example.
Yes.
I love it. It's like live theater.
Yeah, I'm
you
glad
just
we
gotta
gave
be-
her that
I
$5.
know.
All right. So I know, and we all know that we are indeed a reflection of one another. So take just a moment this morning to turn to someone, turn to a neighbor, and say, thank you for being a reflection of me, and good morning.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. So we have an amazing vision and purpose here, and so we invite you to repeat and affirm together our vision. We are an inclusive community.
We are an inclusive community
Committed to global transformation
committed to global transformation
through personal evolution.
through personal evolution.
And our purpose, let's do that one together. Ready? Wake
up,
up,
step
step up,
up,
and
and
make a
make a
difference.
difference.
That's right. Today's affirmation, I will read it and then you can affirm along. I trust and live in the infinite flow of abundant good.
I trust and live in the infinite flow of abundant good. So also, if you are a first-time guest joining us here this morning, we are so grateful that you're here. And we want to especially welcome you. And please know that your presence here makes a difference in this community. So we would love to offer you a special gift just for showing up this morning. So if you're willing to either stand or raise your hand, we would love to, one of our core council members, Colleen, is going to come by and give you a gift. Do we have anyone visiting for the first time this morning? There's a hand right there.
Welcome.
Right, great. And please join us after service. We have you made it on the right Sunday because we have tons of food back there. We have in our community room, we have a potluck going, and so there will be lots of people out there. Please ask questions and get to know people and find out who we really are. We are also grateful for the many, many people who give of their services every week. Our volunteers are precious and beautiful and amazing Seva volunteers. And so we just want to acknowledge them for helping us to create this space this morning.
Yes, and when you are enjoying your cake and food after service, you'll notice a board by
There's
that back
cake?
door. There's cake.
There's cake.
Cake. So check out the board by the back door that says Save Us Circles and find out all about the different teams and how you can get connected. And there's little sign-up sheets there, so you can sign up to find out more about being involved in one of our service teams today as well. So what is going on? We have our community potluck today right after service. We are welcoming our new members today during service as well. So we have cake. Yes. And Prosperity Power Hour is coming back on the first Mondays of the month on Zoom. So I'm happy to be hosting and continuing this conversation around prosperity that we've been doing all month on a once-a-month basis throughout the year. And next Sunday, we're having Ahava Homecoming. Now, there's no football game, but there is good music and a good message. And so join us. If you've ever considered, talking to you on there because you're already in the room, right? But if you've ever considered Ahava your spiritual home, we invite you home next week for a special service, Homecoming. We're kicking off our theme for November, which is all about home and talking about the hero's journey. So please join us, invite a friend, make sure we fill up this room next week for our homecoming.
Prom dresses?
Come home.
Prom? Are we having a prom?
We could have little what are those things called? Corsage and a boutonniere or something? Yeah. You never know.
No. No.
She says no.
No.
And we have a number of ongoing events as well. We have on Wednesday nights on Zoom online our meditation and metaphysical discussion. We also have Tuesday night here in person, a Course in Miracles study group led by Ron Eisen. And our second Sundays of the month is our Queer and Spirituality group for teens and young adults. All of this is on our website, in our e-newsletter, on our social media pages. So if you want to get more plugged in and aren't getting this information, sign up on the back there and we'll make sure we have your email on our list. So how about this band, y'all? Let's give them some love. Our music director, Joe Cinquina, on bass. We've got Lauren Dechtenberg on keys and also doing our readings. John Dittert on the drums today, yes. Margot Buchanan is our featured vocalist. And Mr. Jeff Watts making us all sound good. Thank you, Jeff. So I just invite you now to drop down into that space for our centering song and prayer. And our prayer this morning will be led by our practitioner, Kim Damata.
In perfect love, I live in perfect peace. I leave the past behind. I let go, I release, and I breathe in the light, and I live in the love
breathing into that perfect love, that perfect infinite flow of love. I know that it is the only thing that is real right here and right now. And I know it as abundance, power, freedom, wisdom, joy, and love. I know it as the movement of the divine flow of infinite and perfect order of this thing called life. And I know that as this is the truth of the one, this is the truth as me, and this is the truth as each and every beloved soul here. This is the truth of each and every beloved person online, everyone within earshot. And I rest in this knowingness. I rest in this flow. And I bless each and every hand and heart that has made this service possible today. It's made our gathering possible today. Everybody helping to prepare the food that waits for us outside. Everybody in costume, everybody not in costume. I bless our music team, our tech team, everybody helping to carry our voices forward out into the world. And I bless our practitioners, our ministers, knowing whatever needs to be said will be said, knowing whatever needs to be heard will be heard. And with a grateful heart, I simply let this be, saying, and so it is. Amen.
And I breathe in the light, and I live in the love of the one. Namaste. Lorne, would you please do our reading?
Yes, today's reading is from This Thing Called You by Dr. Ernest Holmes. Faith is the most important thing in your life. It is impossible to arrive at the grandeur of its possibility through petty thinking and small ideas. The whole mental scope must be broadened and deepened. The whole expectancy must reach out to more. The whole imagination must lend its feeling to grateful acceptance and joyous recognition. All thoughts of suffering for righteousness' sake, all beliefs that you are being tempted or tried to see if you are worthy of the gifts of life, are mistaken concepts of the way this law works. Life wishes to make the gift, because in so doing, it is flowing into its own self-expression.
I'm through asking where I'm going. I've been asking all my life, and I've grown tired of all this wondering when everything seems to turn out just right. So when my mind needs something to do, it wants another future, I whisper this: I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be this way. So here goes nothing, I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up, knowing I'm in good hands. Here goes everything, it's all on the line. But I'm not afraid this time. Some say it's crazy, some say naive to close my eyes and take a leave. But I know better, 'cause I believe even in the dark my soul can see. So when my mind starts playing its game, I know the answers are always the same. Here goes nothing, here goes nothing. I'm taking a chance, I'm opening up, knowing I'm in good hands. Here goes everything, it's all on the line. But I'm not afraid this time. Here goes nothing, I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up, knowing I'm in good hands. Here goes everything, it's all on the line. But I'm not afraid this time. No, I'm not afraid this time. No, I'm not afraid this time. I'm okay. Turns out I've always been, and I'll always be that way. We're all okay. We've always been, and we'll always be that way.
Beautiful. Thank you, Margot. Thank you, the band, for that beautiful, heart-opening music. Yes.
Daniel Namod.
Daniel Namod. Yep. So today we are wrapping up our Rocktober Prosperity Month, and our series this month has been based on the book Busting Loose of the Money Game. So we started the journey by looking at some of the rules of the money game, these ideas that are held in the collective consciousness about money. For example, there's not enough. There's not enough for everyone. Or we must work hard for money. Or money is the root of all evil. Or you can't be spiritual and have money. So there's a number of messages and ideas that are kind of held in this collective consciousness about money, and often they kind of conflict too. So the thing is, these ideas, oops, I knocked it over, are so pervasive in our culture.
Here,
She told
allow
me about
me.
this, but I'm like, thanks. These ideas are so pervasive in our culture that unless we are aware and paying attention, they can easily begin to influence our own life and our own understanding of life. But the thing is, what this does is it just allows us to become complacent and to outsource our good to something that is out of our control. Because if we think, well, that's just the way it is, there's not enough for everyone, there's just some people that are good at money, but not me. All of these things that we could buy into, these ideas, will begin to inform our life. And if we just accept that is the way it is, we won't even try to bust loose from this game. But I know that we are here, we are up to something different here in this room, yes?
Yes.
So we are here to experience the fullness of life and the pure abundance of the universe. So the first step is to unravel our own fear and doubt and lack in regards to money. And we must recognize that when we are playing by these rules and buying into this game, and these rules that aren't even really real, right? So it reminds me of a story I believe I've shared before, and it was funny. I was getting my daughter Cadence ready for bed last night, and she had a birthday party, so she was telling me about her day, and she said, yeah, we played this game, Capture the Flag. And this is the exact thing that I was thinking about in relationship to this topic today. So the idea, right, is that you have these little chalk boxes, and if you get tagged by someone on the other team, you have to go and you stand in your little box until someone from your team can come and tag you out. Well, here's the thing. What if you are playing this game, and then all of a sudden you get tagged, you're in this box, and it starts to get dark, and your friends decide they're going to go home, game's over, bye. And you're still in this box.
Whoa.
Well, imagine if you were playing the game and so seriously and bought into the rules of the game that you just stood there because you knew that the rules of the game are you can't leave this box unless you get tagged out. And you just stand there alone in the dark and the cold. Now that seems kind of silly, doesn't it? When all you have to do is just step out. There's nothing really there blocking you. But the same thing happens when we are playing this money game, this game of life, too seriously. When we buy into these rules and these ideas and these beliefs and start to believe that they are real or they have some kind of power over us, then we will forever be stuck in our own little boxes. The only way to be free is to realize that nothing truly hinders or blocks us. Nothing limits us but our own mind. When we have simply accepted that certain beliefs of lack or limitation or fear and certain conditioning from society. So these rules about money, just like any other system or structure in our society, are only held up in place by the collective buy-in. That we all say, yes, this is true, and I'm going to play by these rules. So in order to bust free of this mindset of lack and limitation, we must first realize where we are taking these rules of the game of money, a little too seriously. And I know I do it sometimes. I can start looking at those numbers, looking at the bank account, and start believing that that is the truth, as opposed to knowing the ultimate truth of who I am as one with the infinite source of all life. So once we begin to bring awareness and curiosity and wonder to our finances, we can notice when we are in this phase 1 consciousness, as the author of the book calls it, and then we can consciously choose to move into phase 2 by affirming the truth that we live in an infinite universe of pure potentiality, that there is enough for all, that it's not pie, and if I cut a piece and give it to you, now there's one less for me. No, the life of the universe of who we are is infinite, and it circulates, right? As we give, we receive, and last week we talked about this flow, right? Getting into this flow of life. So to break free from these lies and these beliefs that perhaps we have that we have believed and that have locked us into this certain system and this structure in regard to money and finances, we must remember our infinite nature. And we have talked about some practices in order to help us bust free from this mindset. So I'm curious how many of you have started to practice some of these things in your life. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the opportunities to express appreciation, right? So instead of looking at a bill or a payment, you consider it as an opportunity to express appreciation for what you have received. Or maybe you've began to shift your language around I have to I get to, right? It's a subtle thing, but feel the difference of the energy behind that? So just the other day, many of you know that we recently bought a house and moved a few weeks ago. So the other day I was sitting there and I was thinking, oh, I have to pay my mortgage. I got to set this up. I have my first mortgage payment coming up. And I wasn't like, oh, I have to. I was just kind of neutral about it. But what I realized in that moment, I thought of what I said, have to get to, and I said, hey. And I sat there and I was like, I get to pay my mortgage because I have a house now. And I began to cultivate this energy of gratitude and appreciation and just look around at this beautiful home that I'm in. And then from that place, move into this flow of circulating this energy that we call money as an opportunity of appreciation for that which I have. I'm grateful that I get to pay a mortgage now, yes? And Heather, my wife, she sure will call me out if I was like, oh, we got to pay rent. She's like, mortgage. When we first bought a house in Michigan, I was like, oh, it's a mortgage. I'm like, okay, yes, thank you. Being clear with our words, because they have power, yes? All right, so in order to bust loose of this money game and to live in the flow of abundance and circulation of the very source energy of life, it takes awareness, it takes practice, but it also takes something else, which is today's topic, a leap of faith. So Reverend Soni, what exactly is a leap of faith?
Well, first of all, let me give you the opportunity to feel even more gratitude. I could give you my mortgage payment as well. Yes?
Only if it comes with the house, too.
Well, of course
You're
it
like,
does.
sure.
Yeah.
On paper, you can call it yours.
Exactly. So a leap of faith, my goodness, how many times have we heard that phrase, a leap of faith? Well, you know what? In its most commonly used meaning, it's the act of believing in or accepting something intangible or unprovable or without empirical evidence. Mm-hmm. So, wow, it's something you can't prove. Right? There's no evidence, right? And it's the act of believing. And so, but how does faith work in our lives, right? Because, I've been tied into the old thoughts of faith. You have to have enough faith. You can't lie. You can't do all these things, because you're being watched, whether it's Santa Claus or God, whatever.
And now there's elf on a shelf.
Now there's elf on a shelf.
So many things.
Shoo,
gotta look out for.
Look out. So how does faith work in our lives, especially when it comes to prosperity? Last week I said money seems to be the last place that we discover God, even though it says on our money, "In God we trust." You know, so it's kind of interesting, isn't it? So often we talk of faith in relationship to something that God will provide. And here's the deal. Faith doesn't influence God. Faith does not influence God out there to send riches to fill our needs down here. Faith is how we shape and form our ideas of what prosperity and abundance is in relationship to God, to spirit. Remember, God is just a word. Fill it in. Whatever it is for you, love, Buddha, whatever, Jesus, the universe, spirit. Anyway, it's what we feel that God feels about the universe. And we have to work on that, and about prosperity, right? We've got to work on that. So in relationship to God or to spirit or to the universe, and what that really means in our lives. In other words, there's a famous businessman, millionaire. His name is Mike Todd. He was even more famous for being married to Elizabeth Taylor. But he said, "Many times I have been broke, but I have never been poor." And that's because the universe functions in perfect balance. It is never depleted. But in everyday life, we can feel depleted, not only in our finances, but in time. You know, how many times do we say, "I don't have enough time"? Or how about in energy? Right? "I'm so tired." Right? And so on and so on. So remember, those are affirmations that we're doing every day of our lives. When we're affirming we don't have enough time, guess what? The universe will not give us enough time.
Say yes.
If we have plenty of time, I have more than I need, I have enough time to do all the things I want to do and more, then the universe, because it works in perfect balance and it always says yes, is going to give you more than you need. So when we hear the voice in our heads that speak of fear and lack, we may begin to feel alone or empty, and everything becomes a struggle, and we start buying into that. However, when we're able to turn to our faith and trust and go beyond appearances, even though through the struggle, we will begin to gain hope. Now, we have to cultivate our faith first. We have to explore what we really believe about prosperity, about money in our lives, what we believe about the availability of the universal and God as the source of all, as well as the substance of all. Therefore, when I'm talking about the universe, I'm talking about its literal meaning, which is the basic unity of all life. Like God, the word universe is referring to the whole of things, the allness, which is present in, through, and as everything. So there's no place in the universe where spirit is any more present or less present than right here, right now, as you, as me, in our lives, and right where we are in our lives and in our experiences. Spirit does not come and go. Spirit is always present in its fullness and does not play favorites. The word substance, from the Latin substare, which means stand under. Stand under. If we break all of this down, the whole of the divine as substance and source is present in its entirety at every point in space and at the same time for everyone. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to y'all? Some people do a little bit. Some people are saying, You want me to say it again? Okay. If we break this all down, the whole of the divine as substance and source is present in its entirety at every point in space at the same time for everyone. Let me give you another example. Let's look
Okay.
at the ocean. The ocean has drops, right? So we are all part in, through, and as this great ocean. So this ocean is fully present in its substance and its entirety all the time. And we are part of it because we are a drop in the ocean. And without all of us, we wouldn't be able to recognize the greater substance, the greater source. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, I'm on a roll now. I'm going to dive in.
Dive in.
Dive in.
Swim.
So let me
amongst
give
the
you another
oneness.
example because this is really good. When you breathe all the air you need, you can never deprive anyone else of the air each person needs to breathe. So as
I
I'm
love
breathing
that.
right now,
Yep.
I am not taking
You're not
your
taking my
breath
air.
away. Well, I might be.
Take my breath away.
All right, don't sing.
He's going to turn off my mic.
So right,
love that,
mean,
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
I'm breathing,
I'm
but
not-
I'm not taking your breath.
Yeah. There's enough.
There's enough, and there's always enough, and there's plenty to spare. And you know why there's plenty to spare?
Why?
Because they're breathing too. Try holding your breath and see what happens.
No thanks.
Right? So we have to breathe. We have to give our breath away, and we have to take it in, which is the reciprocal nature of the universe.
Yes.
Always expanding and contracting, always in perfect balance. Always. The only limitation or lack that we feel is in our consciousness. Because there's no place of limitation in the universe. And here's the deal. You are an expression of the infinite creative flow, and the universe, hear me when I say, the universe owes you a living simply by the air it provides. Right? The world, on the other hand, owes you nothing. But you owe the world a life. Because you're here. And so you get to stand in the power and the presence of the knowingness that you're here to live the very best life you can. And that you are able to be. And so part of all of that, of living the best life that you can, is to look at all those hidden beliefs, whether it's about money or anything else in your life, relationships. You know, your responsibility as a human being is to live in the truth of who you are and let your light be a beacon of truth so that others may let their light shine. Because the universe is on your side and always has been on your side and will continue to provide the air for you to breathe. Life is forever on the side of abundance, on the side of becoming, on the side of success. We love a success story, don't we? Or a hero's journey, right? And when we allow ourselves to be centered in the universal flow, this is when we become synchronized with the divine good. And so sometimes we call this the universal flow. Sometimes we call this universal flow miracles. And sometimes we know it as simply a natural function of the divine. So whatever we call it or know it as, it is the evidence of substance. So there's this old story that's been around for years, and it's about John, a businessman who was desperate for success. So he went to church one day and prayed devoutly, God, if you'll only help me somehow, I will give you 10% of everything I make, right? Nothing happened. The next Sunday, John prayed, I'll give you 25% if you help me. Still nothing. The next Sunday, God, I will make you my 50-50 partner if you help me out a little. Just then his wife runs into the church and grabs him and says, guess what? We just won $5 million in the lottery. John turned to the heavens, because that's where God lives, right? Turned to the heavens and said, oh, don't worry about it, God. It's okay. I got the money someplace else. Right? Okay. All right. Okay, so if we rely on something outside of ourselves to fill our pockets or our lives, we're at the mercy of outside influences. But if we can practice and build our consciousness on the evidence of substance as the universal flow, we will never be poor, because the universe can never supply lack. The universe can never supply lack. This is a state of mind. Eric Butterworth, Dr. Butterworth, refers to this as onlyness. I only earn. I am only worth. I only have. I only need. I only want. In other words, regardless of what you have, your thoughts are centered in what you do not have. With the subconscious fear, of course, that you do not have enough. And this is subtle stuff, folks. It really is. And to let go of the onlyness means we have to raise our consciousness to the level of the all-sufficiency, and guess what? Expand our faith. The truth is, all too often, we have no idea whether we are onto a good thing in our lives, whether it's working in our lives, or whether a particular opportunity or project will yield fruit, or whether it will not. Nonetheless, when we raise our consciousness and practice our faith that there is a higher power involved, we are led to the direction of our good.
Yes.
The universe can never provide lack.
Yes. So the opportunity this week is for us to practice our faith through recognizing the good, the abundance, the bounty that surrounds us. It's such a beautiful time of year to turn to nature of that great example. So we get to lean into the awareness and pay attention to our thoughts when they start to say, oh, there's not enough, I'm not enough. Any of these thoughts and feelings of scarcity, of fear, of doubt, as they begin to creep in, and they might, because we're human, right? That's how we're wired. But we also are spiritual beings that can transcend those ideas through raising our vibration and our consciousness and reminding ourselves of the truth. So this is a practice every day, all day. Be mindful, notice, pay attention, and then choose a new thought, that of truth. So we get to stand in the knowingness that God is the source and substance of all supply. And that shifts our energy and turning to appreciation and gratitude. Noticing the flow of good in and around us will begin to transform ourselves so that we can see things from a new perspective. So are you willing to expand your consciousness, to expand your container for good, and stretch in your own giving and generosity practice in order to prove God, spirit, universe, life is the source and substance of your supply, and strengthen your faith today. Are you in? All right.
Some people are.
Let's try that again. Are you in? All right.
Shall we pray?
Let's pray. Let's pray for those that said yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And those that didn't say anything.
That's true, yeah.
Okay.
And those that said yes.
Yeah. Oh, I have a great idea. Let's pray for everybody.
Let's do it. Okay. All in, all in.
All in. Would you like to start?
You get it started. I'm going to grab some water.
You're going to grab some
Yeah.
water. That
I
high
gotta-
voice
I got be in the flow.
I'm dropping into that place, that space where I know that only the divine exists. I know that this that I speak of, that I call God this morning, is the source and substance of all supply. I know this power and presence as that which creates out of itself, never diminished or destroyed by its creation. How amazing and beautiful that out of its creation it has created this community and each and every individual with us today and those who could not be here. How amazing that this power and presence created so many things, from the invisible to the visible, from prosperity and joy, creating out of love, creating out of oneness, creating out of grace and truth and all of these things, because that is the truth of the one power and presence. And I know that as I lie upon the altar of truth, I affirm and know that this not only is the truth of the one source, it is the truth of me, and it is the truth of all beings, all creatures, great and small. And so it is from that truth that I speak this word for this community, knowing that there is no lack or limitation in spirit in the universe. Therefore, I know that right here and right now, all is flowing as the very life that God is, to expand and enrich each and every individual right here, right now. Those who said yes, those who didn't know, they said yes, and those who are still saying yes. And for anyone who may be experiencing doubt or lack or limitation, I know that there's a greater truth to be known, and that right here and right now, everything is in perfect order, and that the flow that they are perhaps lacking in consciousness is opening up right now, without hesitation, without delay, and expanding into the greater yet to be, into that greater knowingness that indeed the divine is right where we are, flowing in, through, and as the very life that God is. How beautiful and amazing that this truth can stand through the power and presence of the world, knowing that this community, in, through, and as the very life that God is expanding, opening up, receiving not only all the pledges that have already been offered, but those that are still coming through the doors. How grateful I am to know this truth and to speak this word for this community as I pass my prayer to Reverend Rainbow.
Yes, and I take a deep breath, accepting all that has been spoken as I add my word to this field of oneness, to this field of infinite potentiality, of pure potentiality, infinite possibility, knowing that this source of life is sourcing me now in all areas, in all aspects of my life. Prosperity, abundance, wholeness is experienced through my finances, my relationships, my creativity, in all the ways that we choose to share. So I know and I speak this word in the first person for all of us, for there is really one life expressing here, now, and always its infinite nature as us. So with great gratitude, I accept this word with great gratitude for the fulfillment of this. I release this into the action of the law that always says, yes, 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 my beloved, it is done. It is so. And so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Yes. So this is a special Sunday.
It is.
This is New Member Sunday. And we have quite a few new members online, and some of our new members are here. And so we want to take this opportunity, if you will, read their names.
Yes.
And for those who are in the room, to come forward and stand right here.
So today we are welcoming Clifford Todd. Carrie Kennedy is online. Denise Noble is online today. Come on up, Clifford. Come on, don't be shy. Patty Baker, is she in the room today? Nope, she must be online as well. Joan Brannon, come on up. KP Gale, come on up. Adam and Andrea Moore, come on up. And Heather Russell, I know she's online today. And I'd also like to invite up Mike and his wife Loretta is online today. They joined us during the pandemic and transferred their membership from another CSL, but haven't got to experience this lovely acknowledgement. So come on up as well. Now, what does it mean to be a member? These folks took our new member class last week, and this is what they are saying yes to. And as I read these, I invite you in the room who are already members to take this moment to reaffirm your commitment to Ahava as your spiritual home. And those who are not yet members to consider if you want to join next time we offer this. So this is what these folks have said yes to. As a member of Ahava CSL, I'm making a personal commitment to experience and express the grandest divine idea of myself and others.
To participate in Ahava's activities with a high level of ownership.
To spend time in prayer and meditation for the highest good of Ahava CSL.
To practice the universal principles taught at Ahava by applying them in my life to the best of my ability to do so.
To turn first to affirmative prayer treatment and meditation, secondly, to a practitioner or spiritual support person, and thirdly, to speak directly with clarity and honesty only to the people involved for a resolution of any issues or challenges I may face.
To share my presence and my perspective as we create this community together.
To support Ahava with my time, treasure, talent, in a consistent, committed, and identifiable way.
To attend community meetings and vote on all pertinent matters brought before the community by the core council.
Yes.
So I think that this is the song that we always sing to our new members, and Reverend Rainbow and I would like to congratulate them, and we'll do so, but please help me do this song.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
I hold you in my heart.
You in my heart.
You are a part of me.
You are a part of me.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
I hold you in my heart.
Hold you in my heart.
You are a part of me.
A part of me.
You are the face of
You
God.
are the face of God.
You are the face of God.
Face of God.
I hold you in my heart.
You in my heart.
You are a part of me.
A part of me.
You are the face of God.
Face of God.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
I hold you in my heart.
You in my heart.
You are a part of me.
A part of me.
You are the face of God. are the face of God.
The face of God.
You are the face of God.
Let's all sing it
The
together.
face of God.
I hold you in my
Hold
heart.
you in my heart.
You are a part of me.
You are a part of me.
You are the face of God.
The face of God.
Let's give our new members some love.
Woo! Yes. You
And
can
we will
sit down now,
celebrate
yes.
with them after service.
service with cake, yes.
With
Cake. Yes, 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 yes. And to all of you watching online, you are the face of God. We hold you in our heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
Yes. Do you think that next week when we have a homecoming, we'll have cake too?
I think that might be a good idea. We love some cake here.
We
that's
love
for sure.
cake.
All right, so now we have the opportunity to hear from one of our amazing and most dedicated community members. The fabulous Karen Riggins is going to come up and share
Yes.
a little testimonial. Tell us a little bit about
Tell us, Karen.
why she chooses to give to Ahava as her spiritual home. It's your
No, there's
2
too
minutes
much
of fame.
food waiting on us, so I'll keep it short. Okay, when Rainbow asked me to do this, I got to thinking about what's really happened in the last 9 years, I guess. So I'll give you a little short story here. In January of 2013, one of my closest friends, Pat Jennings, invited me to attend Ahava because she knew I was searching for a new spiritual home after many years of having been in the Lutheran Church. I couldn't believe the welcome that I received when I arrived here. There were big hugs and smiles all around. Then I saw Pat, and she escorted me into the meeting room here. First of all, there were some other people that I already knew, some of them my close quilting friends. They hadn't told me about this wonderful place. Then Marie Ann Jaime started singing and playing the piano along with the band. I immediately jumped up, started dancing with them, and I knew I had found my spiritual home. The music and love that came was nothing like I'd ever experienced in the Lutheran Church. I immediately signed up for a class that was this thing called You, being taught by Marie Ann. And it was a real life changer, finding out that I was created out of love and that I am surrounded by love, and that the Creator only sees me with eyes of love. No more guilt and shame being preached either at me or about others who didn't fit a particular program for living. While taking several classes, I learned about tithing, and that you tithe to where you are spiritually fed. Well, I was certainly being spiritually fed by all that I was experiencing at Ahava on Sunday morning, in the classes, and through the many guest speakers that we had come in. Tithing has made me much more aware of the abundance in my life in all forms that it appears. I bless all the money that goes out, and I bless all that comes in. I bless in the law of circulation. I am grateful that I can tithe to Ahava. It is an ongoing life-changing experience being part of this community and tithing to it. And I bless all of you, and I love you all. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes. So we are wrapping up not only our Rocktober series, but also the opportunity to submit your pledge to our committed giving campaign. And this is an opportunity for you to let us know what you commit to and anticipate giving to Ahava in 2023. So as the core council meets, we actually have a retreat coming up this weekend, that we can be good stewards of our finances and look at that to help guide and shape our budget of what we get to create here for Ahava. So if you have not yet turned in your card, if you need one, we have some. Just raise your hands. There's some right up at the table, core council, if they're not back there. And you can go ahead and drop it in the basket as we pass the basket, fill it out online, or see us after service, and we can support you in that as well. But before we get to that, it is the last Sunday of the month, which we here know it as Giving Sunday. And we get to hear from a community organization that is doing good work out here in the world, and then we get to participate in that flow by giving to them financially as well. So I want to invite up Christine from Seed Leaf. Come on up, and you can come right here if you like. Can we use this mic right here? Tell us a little bit about your organization.
Yes, so thank you so much for inviting me into this beautiful service this morning, and apologies for my voice. I think I'm suffering from allergies, so it's a bit raspy.
No worries.
But I've been told I have 2 minutes, so here we go. The thing I want you all to take away about Seed Leaf is that we are an organization that grows growers and community. We do that through community garden spaces in North Lexington. So we have 11 spaces where we grow food in partnership and alongside neighbors, different kitchens, nonprofits, all sort of ostensibly to the public, it looks like we're delivering food or just delivering food. But really, I think our superpower, the secret, is that we build beauty. We do that in partnership with again, neighbors who would probably never meet each other. So sometimes we have really wealthy people coming and working alongside someone who's homeless. And it's never stated publicly. The idea is that you don't need any experience. You just come into a space with yourselves and your heart and your ability to sweat, and we put you to work. And you get to help design that space with us. So I usually have a packet of seeds, and I say, what do you want to see growing here? And we plan it out together. And it's one of the few spaces in Lexington, I think, where you have the ability to do that, where you have the ability to come in and participate without having to spend money, give money, ask someone for permission, show paperwork saying that you are needy and that you should get supplements or benefits or in any way. You just come in and you participate. And these gardens are open to the community at any time of the day or night. In addition to our work in the community garden spaces that we have a 2-acre urban farm where, in accordance with Growing Growers, we have a market garden program for those who are over 18, so adults. We have retirees, we have younger people who are trying to figure out how to have meaningful lives and meaningful work that feeds themselves, their families, and their community, and they learn how to grow food. And then they sell that food at the Lexington Farmers Market, May through October. And they also create small CSAs with their friends and their neighbors where their produce goes. So that program helps us reinvest money that we get into our community by growing these growers. And it helps them to grow food that then goes out into the community that nourishes the community. And last but not least, we have a robust school program. So schools are in many ways microcosms of the communities that surround them. And so we want to make sure that beyond our impact in North Lexington, that we are in public schools throughout Fayette County, building school gardens, helping school garden maintenance, and then helping with after-school garden clubs. So at the end of the day, we grow food, but really we grow growers. And the idea is that one day Seed Leaf won't exist because we will have started something that then goes on to sustain itself. And so thank you all again for having us. Thank you for thinking of inviting us to share in this experience. Congratulations to the new members. That was beautiful to see. And yeah, we look forward to working with all of you. And if you ever want to get into a garden space, I've left some cards here. Great. Email me. Please come and tour. Come and work with us, more importantly. We have a lot of honeysuckle that needs to be cleared. And so if you want to work out, hit me up. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes. And actually, Christina, I'm going to ask you, because they're going to come to you, and then you, because I know there are so many people in this room that are like, yes, including myself, that want to get our hands in the dirt. So thank you. All right. So now we move into our time of giving, and we're going to pass the basket into the room, but there's also many ways you can give online. You can text the word give to 859-209-6996. You can mail in your gifts. You can also go to our website and hit that give button. So let us now take a moment to just affirm this good before we circulate our good. Repeat after me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava, knowing it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Karen, get up and dance. Come on. God is my source. God is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks to all his blessings. Love gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Yes.
May you have auspiciousness and causes of success. May you have the confidence to always do your best. May you take no effort in your being generous, sharing what you can, nothing more, nothing less. May you know the meaning of the word happiness. May you always lead from the beating of your chest. May you be treated like an esteemed guest. May you get your rest, may you catch your breath. And may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa! And may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Whoa! So here's to the hearts that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it. Oh, I want you to have it. Oh, I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. May you be as fascinating as a slap bracelet. May you keep the chaos and the clutter off your desk. May you have unquestionable health and less stress, having no possessions though immeasurable wealth. May you get a gold star on your next test. May your educated guesses always be correct. May you win prizes shining like diamonds. May you really own it each moment to the next. And may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa! And may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Whoa! Well, here's to the hearts that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. Oh, I want you to have it all. All you can imagine. Oh, no matter what your path is, if you believe it, then anything could happen. Go, go, go. Raise your glasses. Go, go, go. You can have it all. I toast you. Here's to the love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. Here's to you always making me laugh. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. We love you. You're a shining star, wonderful, just the way you are. We celebrate your sacred face. We love you just the way you are. We love you just the way you are. We do.
You scooch this way too.
All right, so we just had a really fun party today.
I can tell who we got.
We played a ton of games. We got to play ring toss and toss the pumpkin. What was another game we played?
We did the mummy game.
Mummy game.
We could
As you can see, that's why they look like
people
this.
up in plastic wrap.
Left over from our move, so you know. And anyway, we just had a really lovely day together, playing and having a good time. And we learned a little Halloween jingle that we would also like to share with you. All right, ready? Remy, if you want to participate, go stand by Cadence. Ready?
She's busting loose.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's creepy and it's kooky, mysterious, it's spooky. It's all together rookie because it's Halloween, 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 Halloween. Go, Katie!
It's creepy and it's spooky. It's hilarious and spooky.
It's all
Together, ookie, because it's Halloween. 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 Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah! So we didn't have any sugar, so you don't have to worry about that. But they're going to go home with some fun goodie bags. They won some prizes, and it was great. So thank you.
Yes, we love our little ones, so creative. And they are helping us by sharing where we are with our pledge drive. So drum roll. We are up to, it looks like 81,242. Okay, so that's what, like 60, 65%? Our goal is 150, so by next week we want to see this shooting up. Yes? So let's know that, affirm that, and please submit your cards this week if you haven't yet. So thank you, and we'll see you afterwards. A little.
They look like they've had sugar.
Yeah, they don't need sugar. I was like, that's natural. That's for sure. Yeah. All right, so a reminder that we have our licensed spiritual practitioners that are available to support you in prayer, affirmative prayer treatment. They will be available right over here after service for in-person prayer. You can also put a prayer request in the prayer box by the door or online as well. And stick around for our potluck next week, homecoming. Reach out to folks you haven't seen in a while. Tell them welcome home. All right, let us stand now and close with our benediction. You can repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my finances.
Life is in my finances.
I accept it.
I accept it.
I am it.
I am
I
it.
share it.
I'm sharing it.
Just the way it appears.
Just the way it appears.
And just the way it appears not.
Just the way it appears not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. want to thank everyone for coming out in person today, and for those of you watching online, we're glad to have you along. So don't forget the potluck. Next week is Welcome Sunday, so come back home. Have a great week. We have enough. Oh, let me